Hey y'all, this is Inez Lehman with Keeping It Clean. We're just using a smear technique, and I thought about y'all, and I thought I would do a flower scene today. Here are the colors I have laid out on my palette. Here's a nice little palette, got nice little sections. Very good for dipping into different colors and kind of mixing in certain areas. And first off, I have ivory black. You can find lots of colors from lots of brands on flick.com. I have titanium white, dioxazine purple, sap green, and burnt sienna. Now, when I did the titanium white, I'm going to use that in several places to double load a brush. So I put a little white here and a dot there, and another dot there. When you use the gouache, you might want to use smaller portions, use a small dot, because it really is a strong paint and it mixes well with water. But we're going to try and use a little more of the gouache today than water. I've got my dioxazine purple. We're going to do a flower basket of hibiscus, purple hibiscus. Getting a little water here. You can see that, just getting the brush wet. Going into some purple, dab it off. Just dabbing it off in a little area here when it's somewhat dry, but not all the way dry. Dioxazine purple. And this is a number 8 filbert. I've got a filbert brush. It's a smaller one. Take a little on one side, a little on the other. And I'm going to double load the brush. Got purple on both sides, and then I'm going to get a small amount of white on one side. I don't know if you saw that. It's double loading the brush. Just got a little on one side of the white, purple on both sides. Using an 8x8 canvas today, and I was just going to make a hibiscus flower in a smaller basket. And I would like to hold the brush rounded at the edge and then pull toward the center. Just making little petals, just like so. And you just want to pull toward the center. There's one bloom. Sort of touch that up a bit as you go. And a little more white. Make another bloom. It should have 3 petals to be, or 4 petals to be hibiscus. You just want to make that in that little small area. A little more purple. Dioxazine purple, double loading my brush. So I'm getting it a little wet. Area where I put some water. Just wet enough, not too wet. With a little white on one side. And go into the next bloom. Just going into several blooms here. You just sort of want to press it onto the canvas and release. Just press it on and then release immediately at the center. Makes a nice round blossom that we're trying to accomplish here. Maybe even leave a little white area in the middle of each bloom. Doing that does help you have the little blossom area where the little bees come and help pollinate and all kinds of stuff. So you got that. 4 little blooms right there. You just want to make a little round puff ball. Just kind of here and there. Making a little hibiscus. Into some purple. A little white. Right there. A little more white. We'll use that. Don't want that much. And maybe you don't want that many highlights. You want a more purple hibiscus. Really beginning to look like a bloom there. Right here. Go to mostly purple. Make some of your blooms darker in color. Make your blooms, some of your blooms different colors. That's good. That's actually what you're looking for. You want to do that so that you can vary the depth somewhat and bring out some colors. Maybe some are more back than others into the basket, into the bloom, into the bloom. Maybe some are a little more forward. And just make the bloom blossoms here and there. A little more. Like that blossom right there. Flowers are very relaxing. It's very easy to do. Now the paint does kind of tend to run a bit, and it will if you have too much water. So you might want to do a little bit more of the gouache and sort of understand the medium. It takes a little getting used to, but that little watery effect can kind of help. Makes it look like little highlights on your petals and little areas where the water fades. It doesn't look that bad. It just kind of runs a little. But that's gouache sometimes with a little more water. You can work with that. And you might really enjoy painting flowers. Your flowers might be exactly what you want. It might be exactly what you want to do. Sometimes I do flowers, and sometimes I do animals. Also, if you want to go onto a flat surface, it tends to not run down the canvas. If you add too much water, that's a little tip there. Keep it clean, try and keep the floor clean. Let's just make 2 more blooms. And I think I'll be done with this little small puff of hibiscus. There we are. That's not good enough. Pretty happy with that. Now it does tend to run a little, but if you step back and take a look at it, it really doesn't look that bad. I mean, it looks like it's what you want. You want depth in your painting. You want the different shades of purple, or dioxazine purple, excuse me, and you want to sort of make it look rounded and in depth, like there's more into the bloom. It's round and it's a small puff ball of hibiscus. Washing out the brush. And try that off just a bit. Just wipe it on one side, wipe it down the other on an old towel. Not too much of the water out. You want to go into some burnt umber after this, and we're gonna, oh, I almost forgot, we gotta do the stem. We got the sap green, and double loading that. We're gonna do some blooms. Get a little titanium white there on the end. Double loading the brush with sap green. Kind of makes the work a little easier. Makes it a little bit lazier. So I want my light to be coming from this direction, so I'm going to put my white on this side. Make a stem. Just sort of carry the color down and down into the basket area. And get that white on that side. And if you want to do a petal, there's several different ways to do a petal. I'm going to show you the easiest one. You want to go in a V, pull in a straight line, the other side, and a V, with the other side of the V in a straight line. You want to go to almost about the same edge and stop as you go down. You've got there at the end, very nice petal. I'll do that again. I'm going to double load the sap green. It's a slightly damp brush, not really wet. And get one side on white. Sap green on both sides, and a little white on one side.